In this last week, we've seen Christine Lagarde, President of the European Central Bank, pen a short essay on the future of money, which posed a direct threat to cryptocurrencies. While we've also seen China seize $3.3 billion worth of Bitcoin, while the nation continues to develop its mining capacity. Today, we take a look at these developments, so let's dive on in. Now, this channel provides global macro insights and champions the importance of sound money in a world gone crazy, so please do consider subscribing. Will cryptocurrencies be banned? It's a frequent area of discussion, and recent developments are certainly of great interest. In particular, ECB Chief Christine Lagarde in this essay offers a wonderfully misleading narrative on the origins of money before asserting that the value of money is based on citizens' trust in it being generally accepted for all forms of economic exchange and in the ability of the central bank to maintain its purchasing power through monetary policy, and that the central bank's institutional independence also bolsters their ability to maintain trust in money. She goes on to highlight the technological progress that is taking place and how the digital age is leading to a change in the nature of what actually constitutes money. Before she suggests that these trends, which have accelerated during this pandemic, are consumer driven, where card payments increased by around 8.1% across the euro area. The Digital Euro project will of course ensure that central bank currency is available directly for retail payments and will act as a direct liability on the central bank. She also emphasises how the digital euro would complement cash before finally eliminating it, no doubt. But the document clearly highlights how Lagarde perceives the crypto assets that pose real risk. But the approach is intriguing to say the least. Just listen to this. The main risk lies in relying purely on technology and the flawed concept of there being no identifiable issuer or claim. This also means that users cannot rely on crypto assets maintaining a stable value. They are highly volatile, illiquid and speculative, and so do not fulfill the functions of money. Do not fulfill the functions of money. This is an interesting take and really does suggest that Lagarde and thus the establishment's take on Bitcoin and other similar assets is that it is only a risk to those who choose to actually use it. But Lagarde's take on stable coins such as Tether is far more severe. These stable coins attempt to actually limit the volatility seen in assets such as Bitcoin by holding a direct 100% reserve to a fiat currency. So for every Tether coin issued, they are meant to have $1 in reserve. And so just notice how severe her language now becomes. Although stablecoins could drive additional innovation in payments and be well integrated into social media, trade and other platforms, they pose serious risks. If widely adopted, they could threaten financial stability and monetary sovereignty. For instance, if the issuer cannot guarantee a fixed value, or if they are perceived as being incapable of absorbing losses, a run could occur. Additionally, using stablecoins as a store of value could trigger a large shift of bank deposits to stablecoins, which may have an impact on banks' operations and the transmissions of monetary policy. And I suspect this is what she's truly most concerned about. Remember, this is at a time where the ECB has put out its consultation on the digital euro, which will eventually enable the use of deeply negative rates as a means of prompting euro holders to spend their euros. This, of course, remains the ultimate goal to achieve a situation where the central bank has complete autonomy. So for now, Lagarde seems focused upon what the average person might see as the next logical step in avoiding risk and volatility, and thus to escape potentially punishing negative rates and focus upon stable coins. She goes on to state that stablecoins, particularly those backed by global technology firms, the big techs, could also present risks to competitiveness and technological autonomy in Europe, as they would attempt to leverage their competitive advantage and control of large platforms. Their dominant positions may harm competition and consumer choice and raise concerns over data privacy and the misuse of personal information. So isn't it great to know that the central banks are apparently looking out for our own privacy? How wonderful. But Lagarde is clearly signalling a real warning to certain cryptos and their backers. While I'm sure they will eventually come after Bitcoin, this will really be dependent upon market size and value. At a mere $360 billion market capitalization, there is some way to grow. But make no mistake, the steps towards far greater regulation are clearly in play. For instance, Simon Mikhailovich in this tweet highlights for the US taxpayers there is a new question on the front page of the Form 1040. At any time during 2020, did you receive, sell, send, exchange or otherwise acquire any financial interest in any virtual currency? Yet the threat to central banks is that the larger and more established cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, become, and the larger they become, the harder they will be to tackle. Right now, they seem a little unaware of this threat. However, we have recently seen China seize 1% of Bitcoin's total supply among other crypto assets. Beijing swooped on the South Korean-based cryptocurrency exchange called Plus Token. The seizure by the Yancheng Intermediate People's Court has moved the digital currencies to the control of the nation's treasury. Plus Token was a Ponzi scheme which advertised a non-existent crypto trading platform and promised users an attractive payout for deposits of at least $500 worth of crypto assets. To me, this just emphasizes the fact that assets that are held on crypto exchanges are also going to be at far more risk. But to Max Keiser, this represents a far more strategic move by the Chinese to ensure that they have exposure to Bitcoin and other crypto assets. Meanwhile, in this interesting tweet, Robert Breedlove highlights that on the free market, the money most resistant to misappropriation wins. Gold is vulnerable to forced seizure and counterfeiting. Fiat currency faces deauthorization and unlimited theft via inflation. Bitcoin cannot be inflated and properly custodied, cannot be seized. Now, these are all interesting takes. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So thanks so much for joining me, and I do look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.